You want to send me a text, 35192. You want to watch, you can do that live at AlanCoxShow.com. The Cavaliers play Game 2 in this round of the playoffs tonight against the Magic. Beat them the other night. Hoping to do it again before they have to go down to Orlando for Games 3 and 4.
Oh, you better believe we're going to let them know.
Is that still the thing? Let them know?
Spray paint it all over the place.
Oh, is it really?
With the chalk, yeah. They do the chalk spray paint.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
It says, let them know, all up and down.
Let them know.
4th Street.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's right out here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Well,
I didn't take my pre-show constitution.
I was over on East 4th Street on Friday night, and they were handing out some Cavalier swags. I got some sunglasses.
Oh, yeah?
Say Cavaliers on them. It's pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
And I got my Cleveland Clothing Company.
Yep.
Cleveland basketball shirt because
cool.
I don't have the licensing to make it a Cav shirt, but it's still,
so it is
still really cool.
Yeah, I think I have
it's right colors.
Cleveland football shirt somewhere in there too. For a couple people have asked me today, the code over there for this month at CLE Clothing Company is
Cashew.
Cashew. That's right. I don't know if they would accept legume. Probably not. I would go with cashew.
Every time I tell them, they're like, I don't know what this is. But
yeah,
okay.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, I can only do what I do, which is tell people that's what it is.
It works on the website.
Website's great. It's always in there. But you never know who you're going to get behind the counter. So, I just tell people, because, plus people who tell me they give the clerk different permutations. I go, cashew. And they go and they go, hey, give me the Alan Cox discount. And these poor people behind the counter are like, dude, what are you speaking English? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that is. So just maybe take half a second if they kind of give you that, look like you have a nipple in the middle of your forehead. Just go, oh, Alan Cox at MMS. There's a code word. It's cashew this month.
Yeah, that's what I just.
That way you're getting them hip to it because they don't know.
I just walked over and bought this shirt during one of the commercial breaks because I didn't know I was going to go to the game. I'm like, oh, I want to be in the colors.
Yeah.
And I told the guy, and he's like, okay, whatever. It's my last day.
It's my last day.
Yeah, so.
You're 70% off.
Right.
Then should I even pay for this, sir?
Do you think that he made that decision in that split second?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He didn't go to work today deciding that was his last day.
I think I was the last straw.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't keep doing this.
So, Cavs tonight, 7 o'clock tip. You will hear it here tonight on WMMS. And when we roll out at 6:30, you get your pregame coverage. And you can also listen on the iHeartRadio app if you're so inclined. I believe you can listen on the app. Everybody buzzing about Caitlin Clark. Last week, the word was she was going to sign a big, big deal with Nike. And in fact, she did.
For her.
A $28 million sponsorship deal with Nike. She'll make about $3.5 million annually. With bonuses and things. I think maybe the base is 20, but with bonuses and whatever else, it could be up to $28 million. So she's going to make herself a nice chunk of change every year. She'll make $75,000 playing for the Indiana Fever, but who cares about that? They also want her to be part of the U.S. Olympic team in L.A. in 2028 and in 2032 in Brisbane, Australia. 2032. How many years from now is that? So it's 2024 right now.
No way to know.
2032. I'm prone to saying that, but I bet there is a way to know.
Oh,
so 2024 right now, 2028 in L.A., that's just 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
2032, the Olympics in Brisbane, so it's 2024 now. Carry the 6.
No 6.
20, I'm sorry?
No 6. It's 8 years.
Well,
I had to.
Mary, how will I learn if you
You're
keep
never gonna
giving
learn.
me the answers?
You're never going to learn.
I'm trying to do it on my own.
Well, I don't have patience for that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Santora is never going to be a teacher.
Nope.
She's never going to be any kind of instructor,
Nope.
right? Imagine
Nope.
years from now.
Nope.
Imagine after Mary
Nope.
has established herself as a New York comedian of renown. And then that
Through
next
her voice work as the girl that Alan couldn't console.
And then that next, there's always subtle generations of comedians. That next generation of comedians come in. Huh?
I think this is the last generation.
You think
Whoever's started now, and then it's done.
Well, let's say the next generation of everything is cyclical comes in. Mary is an established veteran of the New York club scene. And naturally, because young comics, by and large, are always looking for a shortcut, they go, hey, do you have any tips, Mary, that'll make this all easier? And she'll go, what, do I look like a teacher?
You should quit.
No. You should quit. They'll say, Mary, do you have any terrible stories from when you started stand-up?
People came all over me.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible story.
I'll tell you what my mentor, Alan Cox, always said. This isn't a teaching library.
Right.
Go read on your own.
This isn't a teaching hospital.
Oh, this isn't a learning library.
Well, every library is a learning library.
Not the way I do it.
God, I hate us so much.
Burning the books.
Don't burn the books. I just don't read them.
Oh, I see. But it's fundamentally a place where learning can take place.
I'm just there
right?
to play with that little train set they got.
Yeah. They got a train set at the library?
The one that in Medina always had one.
Really?
Yep.
When you were a kid, or you go back there as an adult just to play with the train?
Yes.
All right. Well, that's exciting. You can really bookend your life in that way.
The trick is...
Oh, my God! Woo! Listen to that horn! Oh, my God! Oh, she's beautiful!
If you cry a little bit while you're playing with it, they think that you're really living some past trauma or you have a dead kid, so they just let you play with it.
Oh, God, and you're trying to... You're trying to get in there and do that.
Well, I just want to play with it, but I don't... Like, I know if I'm just a 40-year-old man playing with it by myself, they're going to be like, oh, wait, that's for the children.
Right.
But if I'm in there and they see me weeping a little bit, they're going to be like, oh, he probably used to bring his child here. And
So you really got to, anytime you want to do that,
so-
you really got to work one up.
Oh, yeah. It
Yeah.
takes a lot.
You got to crank out a couple of tears.
Yeah.
Giving off you got Reverend Lovejoy energy in there.
Mm-hmm.
Where
But it's not like an electric train. It's just the wood ones.
Oh, you're pushing a wood one around.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I have to make all the sounds,
Toot,
make all the
toot.
announcements.
While he's crying.
Toot, toot. I miss you, Kenny. Oh, so you got to go through this whole thing. Boy, that's a long way to go just to play with the train.
Hey.
You're committed to it.
Those things cost like $45. I can't be
Boy,
spending money on that.
I don't have.
So I'll just make the 45-minute trip down to Medina,
Yep.
work up some tears, play with their train for, 45 minutes, and then head back.
Simple.
Mhm.
Easy peasy. $45 there. Bucks.
Everything's 45.
I was going to say
45
minutes there,
Yep.
45 minutes crying and playing,
Mhm.
45 minutes back.
Yeah.
Now, Mary, don't tell me
Go
how
ahead.
long that is total.
Go ahead. You got this.
So 45 minutes there, and then 45 minutes of playing. So that's 90 minutes. That's an hour and a half. Then another 45 minutes. So we take the half hour out of that. That would be 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
90 minutes plus the 30 minutes. That would be 2 hours. And then the last 15 of the 45 minutes, that would be 2 hours and 15 minutes total.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you let me use my own mind grapes, Mary, I can come up with it.
Sometimes it takes too long for you to mind the grapes.
Too
okay?
long.
Yes, Alan. This is a business of immediacy.
Well, anyway, Caitlin Clark is going to make a lot of money with Nike. Her jersey, they said, her jersey with the Indiana Fever sold more than the entire Dallas Cowboys roster jerseys.
Dang.
Because there are probably dudes wearing these, aren't there?
Yeah.
She's so of the moment, there are probably dudes wearing Caitlin Clark jerseys just because it's like the hot thing now.
I think what happened was people knew that these were going to be very popular, and so there's a lot of people that bought them, hoping they can make a bunch of money
Flip
on the
'em.
resale market.
You think so?
Yeah.
But selling more than the entire,
no, it's incredibly impressive either way. but I think it's resellers.
I mean, more than Cavante Turpin's jersey.
I mean,
She sold more than Princeton Fant.
these aren't guys that really sell a lot of jerseys, Alan.
She sold more than Brian Anger.
Probably. You might have sold more than him.
I don't have a jersey. Oh, I see your
should get
point.
one.
Yeah. Well, she's going to make a lot of money. Have you seen, Mary, have you seen any of the parking barnacles yet? I was reading anything on New York City's parking barnacles. Okay, so people were complaining. The city, and obviously people have been complaining for a long time, but it got to be too, I guess, labor intensive or whatever to constantly be booting people's cars who are illegally parked or not parked properly or whatever. So New York is rolling out this pilot program. Their latest parking deterrent is called the Barnacle.
I've seen these before.
Have you seen them? Where they put them on the windshield?
Yeah, and I guess if you turn on your defrost, it will cause enough condensation.
I was going to say, how does this stay on?
You can just take it off.
Oh, this big giant yellow thing?
It's like a big suction cup thing that instead of putting a boot on your car, supposedly blocks so much of your windshield that obviously you can't drive. But I'm like, this is New York. People are just going to do the Ace Ventura thing and poke their head out the window and drive off.
There's people driving with less windshield than this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they've got cracked windshields. They've got garbage bags over them. I mean, this ain't stopping anybody.
The Barnacle is what they're calling it, like the thing that sticks to the hull of a ship, but it sticks to, literally suctioned to the windshield. It's a pilot program, so they're trying it out, but I am very confused as to how this works. The executive chairman of Barnacle Parking said he invented the device with a friend after getting one too many boots on his car. So this is another guy who can't read a sign, who's found a new way to do this. So they walk up, NYPD walks up, and it's got a giant suction cup on it. And they put it on your car. Do not move vehicle. There it is on a semi-truck. They'll put it on anyway.
Stop anybody, man.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, even if they try this in Cleveland, it's not like, oh, they're so inventive in New York. Try this in Cleveland. People would just stick their head out. Commercial-grade suction cups that attach to the glass with 1,000 pounds of force. You know how many tons that is?
Half.
Pretty good. Because the machine helped, I assume.
Yes.
And then they unfold it. It's a giant piece of plastic that folds like a book. They put it on the car windshield. And then the giant suction cups adhere to the glass. Takes NYPD less than a minute to install each Barnacle. And then you scan a QR code to pay. And then you punch in a code and it undoes the suction cups. But then you have to drop it off. Like, who's going to do that?
Waste of money.
No one is going to drop these off.
Throw these on the sidewalk and they're going to get destroyed.
This is hilarious. I mean, people are taking scooters and throwing them in the water or in an alley or something, right? And those are something you're using. That's not something punitive. That's a piece of transportation. Gets you from point A to point B. People are like, screw it. It ain't mine. Throw it in the street. Throw it in Lake Erie. People can be taking these off and throwing them in the streets. The Barnacle. Hey, we made it real easy for you guys. Here's a QR code. You can pay the $185 fine and then release the Barnacle.
They can't even get people to ride inside the subway.
Right.
Like,
they're having sex on the roof.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Who is this for?
Well, this guy has a friend who complained that he was getting too many boots. Now, the Barnacles do have GPS on them, so people will always know where they are. And an alarm that sounds whenever somebody tries to remove it from the windshield. I mean, I imagine you get pulled over right quick if a cop saw you driving with your head out the window and a Barnacle on the windshield. But, boy, I want to see this. Maybe they'll start a pilot program here in Cleveland for this. I would love to see something like that. So there's a lot of car meme accounts And there was a story of the Barnacle on one, you know. Because I was feeling very wistful about my father. You know, I didn't get my dad's grease monkey gene. My dad was an engineer, and he was always tinkering with our cars, and my younger brothers really got that gene from him.
Oh, he would have really loved my muscle car.
Well, it's kind of what I was thinking of is, you know, my dad, it reminds me, my dad was fixing up a 1964 Ford Fairlane four-door, right? 3 on the tree, glass packed, the whole bit. And he let me work the torch occasionally. And so I was always trying to absorb this information. But my younger brothers were the ones who really took to it. I always very much wanted to be one of those guys. But it just didn't sink in with me. I was a lover, not a fighter, Bill. I don't know what to tell you. But some of these car accounts, because my dad was always tinkering with some ride of ours, that they were fun to look at. But the Barnacle, coming soon to a theater near you. As far as I'm going to move on with the food thing, but I was reading about a restaurant that is rolling out another culinary pilot program called Bug Appetit in New Orleans, where they're serving up cicadas. Now, if you were to put Italian dressing into the mix here,
No,
no.
I
So it-
can't. I'm
so
allergic to shellfish. Remember,
It
we
does
went
have
over
its
this?
limits. Is
when
that true
people
for
started to get-
cicadas? Could you not eat
I
anything
thought
with
that was
a
what we talked about. That anything with like an exoskeleton,
with a
thing,
thorax or an
you're not
exoskeleton?
supposed to eat crickets or cicadas or any of that. That it's got like the same proteins as shellfish. I thought we talked about that on the show, like the last.
I think
cicada
we.
boom or
I think
whatever.
we. I'm sure we touched on it, but I wondered if it'd be worth it just to try it. The cicada, Antoine's and Brennan's is a restaurant in New Orleans, or maybe that's 2 different ones. But they're serving up. There's going to be trillions of these dumb things, supposedly. I still don't think it's going to be trillions.
You should count them all.
I've already started.
They're not up yet.
Mary, I have ways to do it while they're in the ground.
A cicada finder,
Yes.
like a metal detector.
Well, you know how the
Cicada?
Cicada radar.
when the cops, are looking for, like, if somebody buried a body in their backyard, they've got that ground radar, ground penetrating radar, where they go, hey, we're looking for a body. Do we have any piece of technology that can penetrate the ground? And they go, yeah. And sometimes it can, if they hit concrete, they know they might be onto something because maybe somebody encased a body in concrete. That ground penetrating radar. So I dropped some coin on one of those, and I'm checking out.
Seems worth it.
Bill, this only happens every 17 years, right? This is going to pay for itself easily within the first 5 billion cicadas.
Like I said, worth it. Worth it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have found a way to take it upon myself to start counting them now because I don't think
maybe-
anybody else is going to do it.
If Mary just eats a little bit of bug each day, she'll build up a tolerance, and
That
it won't
is
make her
not
sick
how
again.
allergies work.
Is that true?
Yeah, it actually gets worse the more you expose yourself to it.
Not if you do it a little bit at a time.
Nope.
According to a Mike Polk Jr. joke about how he was bullied by his dad out of not having a peanut allergy, it should work. And that's pretty scientific.
Well, okay. So you cannot build up a tolerance to an allergy.
No.
Because I thought
From everything I know,
she's not
you
even
just
trying.
become more allergic.
Well, I'm
At
sure
first, and then less.
I'm sure it's anecdotal, but I thought that I had heard stories of people that lost an people can develop allergies. It seems conceivable you could lose one.
I maybe?
Yeah.
I know that when I started to become allergic to shellfish, it got worse and worse every time until I eventually went to the doctor, and they're like, you have to stop. You're going to die. Your throat will close, and you won't be able to breathe because you can't stop eating shrimp.
Wow.
And I was like, but I don't want to.
Well, at least you can go to sleep at night knowing that you weren't part of the problem that bankrupted Red Lobster.
I was not.
Yeah, no. Hard to believe serving unlimited shrimp for 10 years would bankrupt
Longer than 10 years.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of that unlimited shrimp, so I
never
did my
made
part.
it. Never made it.
Of course,
they put
it in butter, so you'd be like,
No. I actually made plans with a couple of buddies of mine. I go, hey, we're gonna go do this because I'd never done it before, and it sounded like fun. But I think they put the guardrails on this too late over there at Red Lobster because they filed Chapter 11. It's not like the restaurants are gonna close, but they ain't gonna be doing that unlimited nothing anymore. They're like, yeah, I don't know how you underestimate the appetite of the American public. They're like, hey, unlimited shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tyler.
Hello, Alan. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, real quick, about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, you had a controversy on the show with the Pink song. If you're coming up and you had better get this party started, or if it is you better get this party started. Your thoughts?
Well, that doesn't ring any bells with me, but I'll take your word. My thoughts what? On something we talked about years ago with Pink?
Yeah, I was curious if you guys had ever found a solution to this song. It was a real hot topic a while back, but I know it's off topic, but...
No, that's okay. I just don't recall that conversation. I mean, you can Google the lyrics and they'll tell you.
I know, but I want to know the show's decision. And also, it's a two-part question. What happened to Helpful Brown?
He got a new gig.
Say it ain't so.
He got a 9-to-5er. I don't know what he's doing. He's wearing a tie, maybe behind a desk, I assume.
You stop it right now.
No.
All right, that's good for him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear about your loss, but I don't know who's going to fill Helpful Brown's shoes.
Well, so far, nobody. I'm not worried about it. But, yeah, we miss him, too. But this show must go on, Tyler.
Yeah, you'll be just fine, buddy.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Oh, okay, there's Tyler. Boy, that was
Bye, Tyler.
really out of